EU foreign ministers are expected to approve sanctions against those behind Russia's crackdown on Kremlin critic Alexei Navalny and his supporters. Last October, the bloc already put 6 Russian officials on a blacklist over the poisoning of Navalny. Our correspondent in Brussels, Dave Keating, tells us more.
We're hearing that there is enough support to use the EU's new human rights sanction regime. It's only 3 months old. They adopted it in December, and it looks like they do have the unanimous support needed in order to adopt sanctions against individuals involved in the arrest of Alexei Navalny in Russia. This is very interesting because this new regime was difficult for the EU to pass. There were several member states who worried that it was unnecessarily antagonistic toward Russia in the first place, most notably because it's modeled on a U.S. law called the Magnitsky Act, which references a Russian dissident. That's actually why the EU law is not specifically given that name. The fact that it's being used so early and specifically against Russia when so many countries were worried that the optics here were going to unnecessarily antagonize Russia shows just how much the thinking has changed. And that's the result of a disastrous visit by the EU's High Representative for Foreign Affairs, Josep Borrell, to Moscow earlier this month, where he was effectively humiliated by the Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov, standing next to him, who was insulting the EU. And even while that press conference was taking place, Russia was expelling some European diplomats who had participated in protest against Navalny's arrest. That was a real game changer here. And it's hard to see what Moscow's intention was in humiliating the EU in that incident. But assuming that they didn't want more sanctions from the European Union, it appears that has backfired. It is hard to get unanimous approval for sanctions against Russia. There are EU sanctions against Russia already in place for the country's invasion and annexation of Crimea, and also there were sanctions put in place against individuals in October for this Navalny question. But the use of this new human rights sanctions regime is going to have Moscow worried. Now, this again targets individuals, not the country specifically, and again, it would be the start of a process that would need to be confirmed by prime ministers and presidents at a summit next month.